It's Labor Day 2019 and time to take a look at how we're doing next on an expanded edition of Your Labor Minute. Hello, I'm Mark Harrison. Unemployment has been hovering at or below 4% for the past 18 months, and normally that would mean good news for workers and the wages they earn. But we are anywhere from normal these days, and the list of what has caused massive worker disempowerment is long and varied. In fact, for decades now, the systematic assault on workers' economic leverage has been relentless. Up until the late 1970s, workers' wages kept pace with the amount of productivity they provided. Yet since then, worker wages have remained essentially unchanged, while the amount of work we deliver to our employers has increased nearly 2.5 times, leaving CEOs in the top 1% of the country owning 40% of the wealth and the top 20% owning a startling 95%, leaving the rest of us to fight for the 5% that remains. And fight we do, as we become increasingly convinced that people just like us are the enemy. But nothing could be farther from the truth. We are the majority. The workers of our country are the majority, and it is imperative that we understand that working together as a majority is the only way to have our voices heard. Our wages are being held back on multiple fronts by an administration who fails to make policy decisions based on real and meaningful income growth. Many workers still struggle to make ends meet on a minimum wage of $7.25 an hour. College graduates who have mountains of debt after being told the only way to get ahead in life is to seek higher education and earn a degree find themselves competing for a no or low-paying internship in the field of their choice or joining the gig economy just to pay the rent in the cities where they want to make their future. And graduating college as a person of color in America only makes things worse, as the statistics show an almost non-existent ability to get ahead for people of color after 4 years of study and taking student loans. The one-time unifier of all things better for the American worker, the labor unions, have seen their power to effectively bargain for better wages, benefits, and worker safety under constant legislative, administrative, and judicial assault until the share of workers who belong to private sector unions has fallen to a mere 6.7% of the working public. Yet nearly half of non-union workers say they would join a union if given a chance to do so. But how would they even know how to go about such a thing, since there are only a handful of labor reporters at the top 25 newspapers and no labor reporters at broadcast and cable television networks? There are bright spots, to be sure, with teachers' unions around the country saying enough is enough and striking for better wages, working conditions, and better environments for their students. Not only striking, but sticking together and getting the wages and benefits they deserve. Graduate students are organizing to end years of assault on their lifestyles and wages. Newsrooms around the country in both the old and new media are organizing and fighting to better their collective lives. And we are seeing progressive labor leaders emerge as well. People like Sarah Nelson at the Flight Attendants Union and Cooper Caraway, AFSCME Council 65 rep in Sioux Falls, Randy Weingarten at the Teachers Union. Tireless advocates of workers everywhere. And now, I'm happy to announce you will also have the authoritative voice of us here at the Labor Network and the Labor Press, as our organizations have joined forces to form what will be the premier source of news for everyone who works for a living. Indeed, we have just entered into a sponsorship agreement that will soon have us on a major radio station in New York City, with much more to come over the coming months. We're excited, and you should be excited, as we begin growing into a combined presence on both broadcast and in new media that will bring back the long-forgotten voices of workers across America. I'm Mark Harrison. Happy Labor Day, everyone.